Hello and welcome along, everybody. We are live in the GCTV studio for stage 6 of the Longines Global Champions Tour. This is an exciting day, a fantastic Grand Prix that we have lined up for you this afternoon. My name is Mark Lewis, and let's get stuck straight into the details. We remind you that Christian Kukuc won in the previous stage in Madrid. We remind you that Eduardo Alvarez Aznar is still the overall LGCT championship leader. But however, things can change here on the French Riviera. Things can change between now and the end of the afternoon. Other big important points to notice is the fact that Nicolas Philippaerts and Peter de Vos have not qualified for today's LGCT Grand Prix of Ramatuelle, St.Tropez, one of the most iconic, beautiful settings that we have for you in the 2024 season. However, 7 out of the top 10 riders on the overall LGCT rankings are here and are present for today's Grand Prix. So the strong field that we put together, who then of the riders are then going to be identified as some of the favorites? We will hear from Eduardo Alvarez Aznar. We will hear from number 2 and 3 on the overall rankings, the riders who are chasing him or trying to overtake and leapfrog him into that leading position going to Cannes next weekend. Take a breath before we unpack all of that and dive into Ramatuelle St.Tropez. Let's remind you of that Christian Kukuc victory. We will talk about that in a few moments' time as well. However, we talk about Ramatuelle, we talk about St.Tropez. Let's show you just how beautiful this place is and why exactly we make such a big deal about coming back to the French Riviera.
As you can see, we're just a stone's throw from the show here on Pamplon Beach, one of the most iconic on the French Riviera. This place really helped to put St.Tropez on the map as the film stars of the 1950s and 60s fell in love with its charm. And now this world-renowned beach hosts the 6th stage of the Longines Global Champions Tour at the Longines Athena Onassis Horse Show. It's one of the standout events on the LGCT circuit. Exceptional shows such as these obviously are very difficult to put together. They take a lot of preparation here at Pamplon Beach. So we wanted to come and find out a bit more about what goes into the preparations with show organizer Dennis Montecolo. Dennis, running an event like this on the Longines Global Champions Tour, obviously a lot goes in the planning and the detail behind what you do. Give us a bit of an insight into the logistics here.
Yeah, we are in an amazing place, a natural paradise here in Ramatuelle. It's actually the last parking space before the beach, and we have to build everything from scratch in order to create something that is unique, keeping the respect for the place. So we use materials that is mainly made of wood. We use blue color, white color, beige. We try to integrate the event in a paradise without creating a clash. And then we try to give quality, to entertain not only with sport, but with the rest of what we can offer. So we have this amazing village. We are walking through all the shops. We have partners that help us to build everything. We have Nikki Beach, we have Capitan Jet, we have Longines, of course. And this creates and integrate an offer that is appreciated from the local, from the horse lover, and from everyone that joins us every year.
So looking at the competition, it's a tighter, more compact, smaller arena here.
Yeah, the size of the arena is not that small, I have to say, because anyway, it's quite standard. It's special because the tribune, the VIP, and the village create surround the arena, and the crowd is very warm. Especially because last year, for example, there was the victory of Julian Paillard. Several French riders are competing also this year, so we can expect today to have again the same magic atmosphere as last year. And of course, it's a top sport moment mixed with our entertainment and hospitality program.
Dennis, thanks so much for your time. Well, the venue is absolutely stunning, a place to see and be seen, and now it's time for some amazing show jumping.
I love the use of the term paradise that Dennis uses because it just feels so accurate. It just feels so correct to describe Ramatuelle as paradise. And the fact that we are able to host a stage of the Longines Global Champions Tour here in St.Tropez, it stands out as one of the best of the season, without a doubt. So we spoke about Madrid, we spoke about Christian Kukuc and that famous victory, one that takes him inside the top 3 of the overall LGCT rankings. Let's flash back into the Club Campo de Villa in Madrid and remind you of the Germans' win.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome and a great afternoon here at the Longines Global Champions Tour in Madrid. Welcome to the Club Campo de Villa for the 5th Grand Prix of the season.
Christian Kukuc with checker. And now into the final line for his 3rd Grand Prix win potentially in his career on the Longines Global Champions Tour, and top spot on the standings as well. There is Kukuc. Van der Vleuten with so much experience here at this ring. Heading into the final line, can he keep pushing? Because he dared to keep pushing to the final fence. 45.85 Van der Vleuten or Kukuc. It's Kukuc, as Van der Vleuten is a second behind. I cannot imagine that Gilles Thomas is going to take on Christian Kukuc. 45.85 is to beat, and he's going to risk it. He's going to risk it to the last. 45.85 is not going to make that, but it is double clear on debut. Wow. Rockefeller de Pleville van Margot. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar. Come on. Oh no! Can you believe that? On the Oxer of Madrid.
In these Grand Prix, you have to have that luck a bit on your side. Today it was on my side, makes me a happy guy and a bit disappointing for Eduardo. I feel sorry for him, but I know that feeling. Next time probably he has the luck on his side and he will stand here, so that's the sport, and tonight I'm the happy winner.
Looking back to that Madrid moment, that moment of the refusal of Eduardo Alvarez Aznar and Rockefeller, what it then does to the overall title chase, giving Christian Kukuc that victory. It'll be one of those moments that come the end of the season when you make a season package, you make the highlights package, the year that was. That moment there of Rockefeller in Madrid with Eduardo Alvarez Aznar in search of victory on home soil is going to feature. So, with Aznar having the refusal, despite that, he actually extended his lead on the overall LGCT Championship rankings. Let's show you what they look like now, because Aznar continues to hold on to the lead coming into Ramatuelle St.Tropez this weekend. Max Kuhner, who is here, qualified and present, is in 2nd place, and Christian Kukuc, because of that victory, jumps into 3rd place ahead of Gilles Thomas and Michael van der Vleuten. Andreas Schouw here and qualified. Julien Akata here and qualified. So, as far as the overall rankings are concerned, as we say, the top riders on that Longines Global Champions Tour ranking are here in St.Tropez looking to add to their overall tally. The big question now becomes then who is going to take the biggest stride. Nicolas Philippart's in number 13 there, as we said, failing to qualify for today's Grand Prix, which is a big disappointing blow for the Belgian, much like his compatriot then, Peter de Vos, who himself is unable to compete today after failing to qualify. Is the pressure growing on the shoulders of the championship leader? Let's hear from Eduardo Alvarez Aznar ahead of today's Grand Prix. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, you still lead the LGCT Championship after Madrid. There was disappointment, but long term it was a successful stage. How are you feeling after Madrid?
Well, like you said, a little bit disappointed with that jump off, but okay, the horse gave everything, and at the end it was not an awful result, still being placed there in the Grand Prix. So, okay, catching some points and keep on fighting.
At the moment, you are level with previous championship runs. The amount of points per stage that you have made is equal to Ben Mayer, Peter Fredriksson, etc. from previous years. Are you keeping a close attention on the numbers?
Well, I'm paying attention to be good on the Grand Prix, try to keep on in this with these good results. I brought here also Rockefeller, try to keep again a good result in the Grand Prix. But okay, numbers are only numbers, and I need to go show by show and try to do my best every Grand Prix.
We put a lot of attention on Rockefeller in Madrid, but it's not only Rockefeller that you can jump with. Do you feel that you need more diversity to win an LGCT championship?
Well, the horse is doing very good. He seems to be in good shape. I also have some other horses, maybe not ready right now to compete at this level, but they are catching up. Here I brought Legend, one of my other good horses that he's starting the season. But I think for the future shows he's going to be ready. So then I'm going to have a bit more options of horses to do these Grand Prix.
Does that put you under pressure then if Rockefeller is your primary horse to be able to win this LGCT title?
Well, as far as he feels as good as he feels now, I mean, I'm going to keep going with him. He's a very safe horse. He has done all the Grand Prix this year in a very good way, and he's still in good condition. So you have to use them when they are like this.
So Rockefeller is available and, of course, always at the need of Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, but take nothing away from Legend as well. So there are options for Aznar throughout the rest of the season. But there is a man in particular, one of those title challengers, one of those chasers that really does boast an incredibly significant amount of horsepower. And that is Max Kuhner, seen by many as one of the real, true LGCT title contenders who will be chasing down Eduardo Alvarez Aznar because of that impressive string of horses. We took some time to sit down with Max Kuhner to find out exactly how he's planning his season. What is the ambition for you then when it comes to the season?
I think we start from the scratch and don't go from the biggest aim down. I think we look what horses we have, and then we make the plan for the horses, usually a whole show plan for the whole season. Yeah, we're quite lucky with the string of horses we have. Yeah, first of all, there is Electric Blue, and then it's EIC up to Chaco Blue. It's EIC Julio Caesar we have here.
Who's still only 10, by the way.
So only 10, yeah, exactly. Then it's EIC Cooley Jump the Queue, who also did really good rounds already in Miami and Mexico. We have EIC Quantum, who's also an upcoming horse and starting to get some experience in the bigger classes. You know, also when we have more horses, we have to have these horses really fit at the right moment. And that makes it even sometimes a little bit more difficult. And we are nearly every week on a show. So the whole team at home, our home riders, everything has to work together very well.
From a championship point of view, you and Edu are going head to head, or if you are not in one, do you switch off a little bit? How did you do Madrid?
No, I watched the jump off because I'm very interested in the sport. And of course, when Edu was entering for the jump off, I was also interested what happens now. But that's how it is, you know. We have to take the risk when you want to win and also failing. I think it's absolutely amazing how Eduard is doing with Rockefeller. I think he's 19 now. Amazing how both of them together compete for so many years now. And that's always the aim for us riders, to have a horse and to hold a horse that long in the sport. Yeah, that's really great.
Are you the title favorite because of your firepower, Max?
I wouldn't put myself there, but I will go for it, for sure. But I didn't write it down now and say I go for it. I fight for each show, for each Grand Prix. At the moment, we already have some good results. And it's not even half time yet. And I do anyway most of the LGCT shows are on the calendar because these are great shows for us. And so
I hope with the plan I made, I have enough LGCT shows to have good results for the overall ranking. But I will go for it, for sure.
Max Kühne keeping both feet firmly on the ground when it comes to his LGCT title ambitions, and perhaps correctly so, stating the fact that it is not even half time yet. There is still a very long part of the season left to go, but based on his performances, based on his current ranking position, and based on the firepower that he boasts in his stable, it does suggest that it is going to be a very, very good season for Max Kühne. But if he is in second place and Christian Kuckuck is in third place, surely these are the two men that are chasing down Eduardo Alvarez Asna in this opening half of the season. Let's compare the two men. Let's try and put into context who then is hunting down Eduardo Alvarez Asna. This is how the two men stand in the tail of the tape. Christian Kuckuck alongside Max Kühne. More horses available to Kühne. And one extra Grand Prix, a better clear rate for Christian Kuckuck, and a far better average points per stage. So Christian Kuckuck, because of that victory in Madrid as well, is now off the back of only 3 LGCT Grand Prix, contributing 32 points per stage. That too is right on par with previous LGCT championship winning seasons. 2 podiums already for Kuckuck, 1 for Kühne. But it is these two riders that we believe are going to put in a serious chase to the current championship lead of Eduardo Alvarez Asna. How does the start list look, though? That is the big question. Which of the riders that are here today are going to stand out the most? Frederick de Backer is standing by for us, as always, to take us through today's start list. Frederick, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Looking at the figures around Max Kühne and Christian Kuckuck, it does excite me for what is to come in the championship race. But let's talk today. Let's talk Ramatuelle, St.Tropez. Let's talk that start list. Who is standing out for you?
Yeah, of course, with both those riders, both Christian Kuckuck and Max Kühne qualified for the Grand Prix. The top 3 is in that Grand Prix. That makes it very exciting. But if we look at the top-rated horses for this Grand Prix, Mark, there's one name that we missed straight away. That is the name of Mumbai and of Christian Kuckuck. Mumbai is not in the top 8 if we talk purely rating, purely the numbers or the ratings that all of these horses receive after every week going into the next Grand Prix, and Mumbai isn't in that group. Now, I have to say, based on what I've seen over the last few days from Mumbai, I do expect him to put up a good performance. And there's another big horse that misses from these 10 that we've selected based on their ratings. That is H&M Indiana with Malin Pajard-Jansen, who is also not in the top 10 purely based on numbers, but we know that Indiana thrives on this ring. Indiana, a previous winner here in 2022 with Malin Pajard-Jansen. But who is on the list? These are the numbers, and the numbers that you see next to them are their starting numbers in the Grand Prix. So those are not the ratings, and that's something very important to keep in mind. Ening, Makate with Ardessa, Alma with Mandato, very high-rated horse, but this is only the first big Grand Prix for Mandato since the World Cup final back in Riyadh. Olivier Robert has been knocking on the door with Iglesias, and so has Andreas Kau with Napoli van het Nederassenhof. Those 5 come in the first part of this Grand Prix before the break, but then going into the second part of this Grand Prix, we have got some really, really epic horses, if you ask me, Mark. Max Kühne, EIC up to Jaco Blue. Julien Anquetin, Blood Diamond Dupont, of course, third in the Miami Grand Prix. And then look at that final 3 horses. Jessica Springsteen, Don Juan van der Donkhoeven. This is the top-rated horse of the Grand Prix. Eduardo Asna can't be left out. Roquefort de Pléville, Bois Margot. Keep in mind, Mark, that if Roquefort de Pléville goes clear in this Grand Prix again, he will have jumped 5 Grand Prix in a row and 5 clears in a row. And that puts him in the list with only Emerald, with only Casal, and with only Explosion. So really making him a history-making horse. At the end, Kent Farrington with Tulena. Difficult to judge that horse in this rampy ring. But if you ask me, who is the big favorite for this Grand Prix? Former Grand Prix winner in Ramatuelle St.Tropez, Jessica Springsteen. Now with Don Juan van der Donkhoeven.
Wow, Frederick de Backer, thank you very much. How is that little anecdote around Rockefeller with the 5 Grand Prix and 5 potential clears, the class that puts Rockefeller in, the class that then puts Eduardo Alvarez Asnar in with that 19-year-old as they continue to just blow everybody away and surprise everyone at still competing at such a high level. Now, as you saw, Andreas Scal, one of the riders that we talk about, Napoli, of course, involved in the Grand Prix. Dan Strange standing by with Scal to find out how he's feeling today.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. We're here with Andreas Scal, who is one of the favourites for the competitions day at the Ramatuelle St.Tropez LGCT Grand Prix. Andreas, how do you react to that tag?
I'm for sure very happy that you think so. My horse has been in top shape the last shows. And I believe as well that the big clear round and the big result is just about around the corner. So I hope it's today.
Napoli is the 5th highest ranked horse in the competition today. What does he feel like to ride at the moment in terms of form?
No, but he's a lot of power, but he's really fresh, which I believe is going to be good today. He was in top shape yesterday. I didn't support him one time, not enough, and had one small mistake, but he was yesterday ready for the clear round, and I believe he will come out the same today.
You've never won an LGCT Grand Prix. You've been on the podium. Is it going to happen today here in this arena? What's the feeling?
No, I would love that it happens today. I'm not sure I can be fast enough in a smaller ring because he's a big horse. But if I come in the jump off, I promise you I'll do my best.
Andreas, good luck with that favourites tag and have a good round today here in Ramatuelle St.Tropez at the LGCT Grand Prix.
A really important point there being made by Andreas Scal, by the way, talking about the size of Napoli, the stride of Napoli, and then jumping inside a small sand ring like this. He does begin to already ask questions as to whether or not it'll be suited for him. But a clear, and all of a sudden he can be in the mix without a doubt. Let's take a break. When we return, more from Ramatuelle. We speak to some of the favourites, some of the top riders, and find out what's in line for the course design.
Elegance is an attitude.
Of course it is.
Welcome back to the beautiful Ramatuelle St.Tropez Stage 6 of the Global Champions 2024 season. And as you can see just over my shoulder, the course walk officially underway. Today's riders at the moment busy walking the course. So perfect time for us to then jump back to Frédéric de Backer to find out what has been made, what is in store from Gregory Bordeaux today for the course. Frédéric de Backer, what has been put together today?
Well, Mark, thank you very much. This is the course walk of the 6th Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of the season. Quickly talking to you about the first lines. If we start at 1 here at the top of the arena, we go to 2, all the way around to 3 and up to 4. Those 4 first fences are quite open, quite unrelated. That is just a breather to get into the rhythm. He actually gave them 4 fences to get into the rhythm. That's very fair from Gregory Bordeaux. But then he gets a little bit more technical on them. First technical line, from the triple bar into the double combination. We know that is on the downhill slope. It's 6 strides in. There's not much room inside this combination. And we'll talk about combinations lacking room in just a minute. For the first time this weekend, he put up a plank at 7. It has been very windy in St.Tropez, so we didn't use the plank just yet, Gregory Bordeaux, fearing that it would blow off the flat cup. But for the first time, we have got a plank at fence 7. Next, you have 7 strides to a big Liverpool oxer, but if you follow this line, these 7 will get very long. So it needs to be a very direct inside 7 strides to this oxer, because if you get a little bit long to this oxer here on the outside, you will land deep into the line, and it's a very short 3 strides into this line as well. So you have to get quite to the base of that oxer on the inside 7 to create a little bit of room for yourself in the 3 strides up that hill. Triple combination comes next. There's just 8 meters in the second part. It's 2 strides in the first part, 1 stride in the second part, and only 8 meters in here. That is short, Mark. That's very short. And what I've been told from riders and people who have walked the course is that the center vertical is very airy. Only 3 rails, with the last oxer having much more body to it. So horses will have a look more at the oxer than at the vertical. So though the oxer is big, keep your eye on the vertical, because horses will have less focus on that vertical. Go down on 5 strides up to the oxer of Lugano Diamonds. That is very standard, fairly standard, depending on with which flow you come out of that combination. The only question is, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a big LED screen right in front of that fence 11. And horses, some of the younger horses that come into this Grand Prix might have a look at this LED screen. Bordeaux has got everything in mind, knows exactly how this venue, what this venue looks like. And then we're talking about the final line. Double of uprights at 12A and 12B, and then I believe it is just shy of 20 meters. This is a very, very long 4 stride. For the big striding horses, that's normal, but the normal to short striding horses, they have to push, and they have to push because the final fence measures 1.65 meters in width. That is the biggest fence on the course, Mark, right at the end, and we know it is up the hill. In meters, it's long. Up the hill, it's even longer, and a big oxer to finish off. 6th Grand Prix of the season. Bordeaux has designed this.
Oh, Frédéric de Backer, thank you so much. You talk about that kind of a course. It just makes me feel like there are challenges at every single corner. That the fact that he can include the LED screen, the LCD screen, use the slope, use that massive final fence, all at his disposal to try and challenge these final riders of today's Grand Prix. It has been already, you can get the idea that it has been clearly thought out by Gregory Bordeaux. Another one of the big names on today's list is Simon Delestre, back on French soil inside the overall LGCT rankings in the top 10. A man perhaps to look out for as well, the Frenchman alongside Dan Strange.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. We're here with Simon Delestre. Simon, you sit 11th in the LGCT championship so far. You've walked the course here ahead of this Grand Prix. How do you feel? What can we expect from the course?
Yeah, of course, with Gregory Bordeaux, it's always tough. We have a very nice Grand Prix today. It's, I think we have everything he put in this Grand Prix, so it's a very tough Grand Prix, but every year it's the same. I've been 3 times third, and I hope I can fix a podium today, because Caïman was really fantastic yesterday, and I hope he's going to be in the same shape as yesterday.
11 just in front of the screen, coming round into this final line over the double and to this big oxer behind us. How do you see that line riding?
Yeah, of course, the combination, the double vertical is really high at the end of the course. The horse is going to be a little bit tired, and also this way, and we have also the double, 2 big vertical and 4 short and a wide oxer, so it's going to be a tough line at the end.
Simon, best of luck today for the Ramatuelle St.Tropez LGCT Grand Prix. We hope it goes well for you and the
That will be an amazing story later on today if Frenchman Simon Delestre is able to win here in Ramatuelle St.Tropez. And just over my shoulder here by the in-gate, I've watched Max Kuhner come in through the in-gate after his course walk. I've watched Christian Kuckuck come through the in-gates following his course walk. And I must say that both men do look incredibly relaxed. We remind you as well of a wonderful promotion that we are currently running here on GCTV. The details there on the bottom of your screen. We are running a French pass that will include GCTV access for St.Tropez, Cannes and Paris for just $6.99. Is that what I saw? $6.99 for St.Tropez, Cannes and Paris. All of these 3 shows available for you on a special French promo pass here on GCTV, as we want to try and get you onto the channel to watch all the action from the French legs in particular that come thick and fast as we make our way through the European summer over the next couple of weeks. This is stage 6 of the Longines Global Champions Tour. This is going to be hopefully the most exciting Grand Prix that we have watched of the season, with loads of different talking points from the arena to the location to the top 10 and in particular to the top 3 of Christian Kuckuck, Max Kuhner and Eduardo Alvarez-Alzner, who will look to try and hold on to his lead as we head to the next stage in Cannes in a couple of days' time. So stay with us here on GCTV for the live studio. Make sure that you get your French pass in particular, and we'll see you not just here but for the upcoming stages as well. There's a lot to give away, by the way, on social media too, so make sure that you go to the Longines Global Champions Tour social media pages, because we've been shooting a little bit of content for you behind the scenes, and we have some items that maybe might be coming into your possession a little bit later on if and when you play your cards correctly. So that and more throughout the rest of the afternoon. Stay with us here on GCTV as we get ready for today's 2024 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of St.Tropez.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ramatuelle St.Tropez. Welcome to Paradise for the 6th Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of the season, just outside the small city center of St.Tropez, with its well-known harbor, with the boats, with the yachts, but also with its picturesque streets and beautiful, beautiful colors. It is time for the 6th Grand Prix of the season. The championship lead is at stake, the lead in the hands of Eduardo Alvarez-Alzner, still leading after the home stage in Madrid. Sunny, warm and not too much wind. Can it get any better than this? I don't really think so. This is the course that has been built by Gregory Boron. A quick overview will go into detail in just a few minutes time, but Jérôme Guéry is still analyzing, breaking down that course that Bordeaux has built. Full course with everything in it. In front of Max Kuhner and Christian Kuckuck, they make up the top 3 in the both. All 3 of them hard competing in this Grand Prix. Gilles Thomas isn't here, so a chance for Michael van der Vleuten to overtake the Belgian on the standings. Same opportunities for Skou, Arquetin, and maybe even for Duarte Seabra and Simon Delestre there, number 11 on the standings. Well, he was 3 times third last year, and here in St.Tropez, also 3 times third, 3 times on the podium. He really wants to step up, step higher, make it second, and why not win? Because Delestre has been waiting for a win since, what was it, 2015, I believe it was, in Antwerp with Hermes Rian. Big names, big horses, lots of firepower in this Grand Prix. Big surprise is that Emanuele Gaudiano, the Mexico City Grand Prix winner Nicolas Philipparts, and 2 times number 2 on the championship Peter de Vos have not qualified for this Grand Prix in Ramatuelle St.Tropez. They did not make the cut yesterday in the Grand Prix qualification. The slope is notorious here, and Grégory Baudon knows how to handle it and how to play with the lines. These are the lines that he came up with. Maximum height Grand Prix, fence 1 of Longines Athena on Assis Horse Show. Then it's a 9 strides down the hill to Lamborghini towards the big LED screen. We'll talk about that later. Rollback, quite a long rollback. I'm wondering how about the time allowed. Quite a long rollback to Jetfly, and then it's 8 strides up the hill to the Liverpool of Premium Mares. And as from them, it gets delicate and technical. And I'm not saying that we can't see any fences or faults over those first 4 fences. The triple bar sits there, the Cascade triple bar, the waterfall triple bar, and then it is 6 strides. He's given them 27 meters from the triple bar, who measures 1.90 m wide. It looks like a very airy triple bar. 6 strides down the hill into the combination 6A, 6B. Vertical is very tall at 1.57 m. The ox is slightly lower but wide at 1.60 m. 8 meters 10 inside, that is normal, or just substandard 8 meters 10. Call it normal. Around the bend he goes, a long loop up to fence 7, the delicate plank. It's a full face plank there at 7 with, of course, as mentioned, the plank on top. Inside 7 strides, if you go hard to hard, you will be long to fence number 8, and that'll throw you in the line with the short 3 strides to the upright right there. 180 turn into the triple combination of Longines. It's an oxer, 2 strides, a vertical, 1 stride, and another oxer. The room that is given them in here, in those first 2 strides, 11 meters 30, is very standard. That is normal for 2 strides. But then in here, vertical to oxer, down the hill, after the push over the oxer, the first oxer, and 8 meters only. That means that both front rail and back rail are exposed. It's not overly big. It's not overly big at 1.50 m tall. So they do have a little bit of margin. And then 5 strides down the hill to Lugano Diamonds. Last line comes up next, 12A, 12B. It's a double of uprights, very delicate material, but tall. They're just over 1.60 m. And then a long 4 strides to a huge oxer to finish off. And that is the biggest oxer on course, 1.53 m tall, but 1.65 m wide up the hill, long 4 strides towards it. It'll all depend on the horse that you're riding on. If you have some stride, then you'll get there easily. If you've got fitness, then you can still push and pump. But if you're going weak, if you're on a short striding horse, you really have to make sure that you organize yourself beautifully for that final line. Edouard Levy and Scott Bresch are still considering and still discussing the rides and the lines and how they will ride it. There is Max Verstappen, the Dutchman, is there supporting Michael van der Vleuten. I don't really know how they know each other. I don't know if Max ever rode horses. If he did, I think he would be on thoroughbreds going as quick as he could. But he is here in support of the current number 5 on the championship standings. We kick off with Johann Sebastian Gulliksen, followed by Annakel Nerova, and a very late qualification for Laura Kraut on Bisquetta and John Whittaker. Who is there? Also Marcus Hening qualified, not on their best result. Lots of French. There is Jean-Luc Mourier. There is Kevin Stout. There is Olivier Robert. It is Skou on a highly rated horse. Mumbai comes in with Christian Kukuk. The 5-star Grand Prix debut for Carlos Hank, and H5 Ganesh Hero. We see up to Jaco Blue for Kuhner. We see Arquetin with Blood Diamond. We see Donatello Doge, last year's winner. And there, top rated, the highest rated horse, Don Juan, with Jessica Springsteen, former winner here. Championship leader at 30 is Eduardo Aznar. And it was a top performance from Philippe Rosier and Dirty Sweet Rosier on social media, already expressing his gratitude salute to the mare, to Dirty Sweet, to really perform so strongly in that qualifier that will allow him to go last in that Grand Prix. It was the biggest win in the mare's career so far, and the Olympic team champion of Rio 2016 very much delighted with the performance of Dirty Sweet. Can they repeat that once more? That is now a big question. We'll see that after 39 riders, and we already saw Geir Gulliksen by the in-gate talking to his son Johann Sebastian. There he is, as he is the first to go, trailblazer pathfinder with Equine America Harwig VDL. The man who is based very close to Drammen. Lierskogen is the town he's based in, with the family, with Victoria, with Geir, and with mom, of course. 28-year-old Johann Sebastian Gulliksen on Equine America Harwig VDL. Jumped the Mexico Grand Prix with a good result, and it's also this horse that jumped his first Europeans in Milano about a year ago now. Has jumped 3 Grand Prix so far in his career on the Longines Global Champions Tour. This is the second, and Harwig VDL is a horse that is just below the top-rated horses. So don't be surprised if this horse comes out with a good result. The horse was produced by first James Billington, then Marlon Motorol-Zanotelli, and got transferred to Stal Gulik, as mentioned, in Norway. Johann Sebastian with Norwegian flags there in the bar area of the Longines Athena Onassis Horse Show, celebrating its 10th anniversary. Nine strides to Lamborghini, and he makes sure he doesn't stay quiet on the turn. It's not the fastest striding horse, and he's not fast over the jumps either. So he wants to keep a good rhythm. That's a good move. 74 seconds, by the way, is the time allowed. Gulliksen aware of the clock. That's fast. And beautifully ridden 6, but it's quite long coming in, and it's a beautiful swing from Harwig to come out of that combination. Now the plank, and then the inside 7 and the short 3. And he's diving over that. Yeah, he still didn't get there on 7 strides, so he was on the inside, but he was not proactive enough to close the distance. Back rail of 8. Time allowed 74. Waits here, adds strides coming into the double of uprights, which come down. And he is outside the time allowed by 3 seconds. 3 commenced seconds outside the time allowed. Johann Sebastian Gulliksen and Equine America Harwig VDL. So it's 8 for jumping, 3 for time. And we know that he sped up after that first, or in that first turn, in that second turn as well. Young Gulliksen here reaching but not making the width. In fairness, that's more a rider's mistake than a horse's mistake. Goodness me, Geir, you're fitter than I thought. Here he had to wait, and that cost him a second, maybe a second and a half. So, from what it seems now, Bordeaux tight on the time allowed.
Johann Sebastian Gulliksen, the son of famous veteran Geir Gulliksen, unable to deliver a clear in the first rider to come through in the Longines Global Champions Tour of St.Tropez. The stars are out in St.Tropez today. There is no denying that. Max Verstappen, Formula One world champion, is currently in. I believe he is a guest of Michael van der Vleuten. A good relationship between himself and the Dutch rider that has brought out the big names out into Ramatuelle, St.Tropez here this afternoon. A very different kind of horsepower to what Max Verstappen is used to, but enjoying it nonetheless. Make sure you sign up for your GCTV pass. Make sure you get your French pass as well, a current promotion being run, and join us for the rest of today's LGCT Grand Prix of St.Tropez.